Religion as non-conventional warfare. Engineered systems of imperial control. Introduction. In the early 8th century, approximately 7,000 Muslim soldiers crossed from North Africa into the Iberian Peninsula, initiating the Islamic invasion of Spain in 711 CE. Though relatively small in number, their campaign rapidly conquered large swaths of territory, eventually establishing Al-Andalus as a center of Islamic rule and culture for centuries. This historical moment is not only significant for its military effectiveness, but also as a demonstration of how religious and ideological unity paired with strategic ambition can yield lasting imperial control. When comparing this force of 7,000 to the millions of immigrants who have entered Western countries, particularly Europe and the United States, over the past 2 decades, a question arises: what are the cultural, political, and ideological implications of such large-scale demographic changes? Is there a form of ideological or civilizational expansion taking place under the guise of humanitarian migration and multiculturalism? In this context, religion, particularly Islam, once again plays a role not simply as personal belief, but as a scalable socio-political framework. Religion as empire tech. Religions like Christianity and Islam functioned as scalable behavioral operating systems. One language, standardizing communication, scripture, and legal discourse. One law, enforcing moral and political order through divine justification. One authority, centralizing loyalty under a religious figure, pope, caliph rather than local kings or tribes. Built-in expansion mandate. Holy wars, missions, and jihad normalized the spread of empire as a divine duty. This structure allowed religious empires to control vast, multi-ethnic populations without constant military presence. Belief became a force multiplier and doctrine a tool of mass mobilization. Christianity, Rome's soft power revolution. Christianity, particularly in its post-Constantine form, served as a Roman psychological operation. The teachings of Jesus were weaponized into state doctrine. Roman elites institutionalized Christianity to pacify populations and redirect loyalty from regional identities to the imperial church. Pagan traditions were rebranded and integrated to ease transition and secure buy-in. Christianity provided Rome with a new tool, a self-replicating belief system that ensured compliance without the need for constant violence. Its priesthood replaced the sword with guilt, ritual, and spiritual surveillance. Islam wasn't a random grassroots movement. It was engineered empire tech. Arabic became the language of administration, law, and scripture. Sharia dictated every aspect of life and replaced fractured tribal codes. The caliphate centralized spiritual and political power. Jihad provided a theological engine for expansion and conquest. Case study: the Islamic invasion of Spain. In 711 CE, Muslim forces under Tariq ibn Ziyad crossed into Iberia and defeated the Visigoths. This was not mere opportunism, it was a calculated deployment of Islamic state machinery. The local population was divided and disillusioned. Islamic rule brought order, law, and a hierarchy under the caliph. Arabic replaced Latin in governance. Sharia replaced chaotic Visigothic laws. Spain became a laboratory for Islamic empire, multi-ethnic administration, religious tolerance within a dominance framework dhimmi system, infrastructure, law, and cultural standardization. This wasn't spiritual destiny, it was efficient imperial deployment. Islam, like Christianity before it, provided the elite with a toolkit for controlling and extracting from diverse populations. Engineered symmetry, two sides of the same coin. The structural similarities between Christianity and Islam, apostolic succession, sacred texts, divine messengers, and eschatological frameworks may not be coincidental. They suggest that both systems were engineered or refined by elites to do what pagan cults and tribal animism could not: unify vast populations under a common doctrine. This standardization made them tools of governance and expansion. Final thoughts: modern implications. In the modern era, the legacy of religious imperial architecture is far from over. Across Europe and the United States, we are seeing a significant rise in Muslim political visibility and participation within societies historically defined by Christian or secular European values. This includes growing numbers of Muslim mayors, parliamentarians, and civil rights leaders. While many frame this as a natural outcome of democratic inclusion and multiculturalism, others view it as the continuation of a long arc of civilizational contest, where religion is still used sometimes subtly, sometimes overtly as a means of power acquisition. The framework of Islamic law, identity politics, and communal solidarity presents both opportunities and tensions within pluralistic societies. In this light, what we are witnessing today may not be the clash of civilizations, but rather the convergence of imperial systems designed long ago, now contending once again not through the sword, but through ballots, bureaucracies, and belief.